Look, I need you to think about the last time you spent $100. Maybe it was groceries, maybe it was going out to dinner with friends, maybe it was some random thing you bought on Amazon. Now, I want you to think about how hard that decision was for you. Did you even think about it? Did you check your bank account? Or did you just do it? Here's what's wild. That $100 decision, it's probably the single most important financial threshold in your entire life. And most people have absolutely no idea. My name is Apex, and I spend way too much time thinking about why some people build wealth and others stay broke forever. And if you're someone who feels like you make decent money but can't figure out why you're not getting ahead, or you find yourself making small purchases without thinking but then stressing about bigger financial decisions, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're talking about the $100 rule. And I'm going to show you why every single financial decision you make gets exponentially harder once you cross this very specific threshold.
So here's the thing. There's this study from MIT that looked at how people make spending decisions at different price points. And what they found was absolutely insane. When people were spending under $100, their brain activity looked completely different than when they were spending over $100. Under $100? Barely any deliberation. Over $100? The prefrontal cortex lit up like a Christmas tree. They were doing calculations, weighing options, feeling stress. But here's what most people don't realize. It's not that $100 purchases don't matter. It's that your brain has been trained to treat them like they don't matter. And that is costing you an absolute fortune. Let me show you the math. Let's say you make $50,000 a year. That's about $4,200 a month after taxes. Now, if you're making 5 insignificant $100 decisions every month without really thinking about them, a couple nice dinners, some clothes, a few nights out, random subscriptions and purchases, that's $500 times 5. That's $2,500 a month. That's 60% of your take-home pay. 60%, and you're treating these like they don't even count. Meanwhile, you're stressing about whether you can afford a $1,500 vacation once a year. You're agonizing over whether to buy a $30,000 car instead of a $25,000 car. But you're hemorrhaging money on $100 decisions that you don't even remember making. A Harvard Business School study tracked spending habits of over 2,000 people and found that the average person makes approximately 15 purchases of $100 or more per month. 15! And when they asked these same people to estimate how many they made, they guessed 6. They were off by more than half. This is the $100 blind spot, and it's keeping you broke. Now you might be thinking, okay, Apex, but why 100? Why not 50 or 200? What makes $100 so special? Great question. And the answer is actually pretty fascinating. See, $100 sits at this perfect psychological sweet spot where it's small enough that you can justify it without feeling guilty, but it's large enough that when you do it repeatedly, it absolutely destroys your finances. Think about it like this. If someone asked you for $10, you'd probably barely think about it. 20? Sure, whatever. 50? You might hesitate for a second, but you'd probably still do it. But 100? 100 feels like not that much. It's not life-changing money. It's not, I need to check my budget money. It's just $100. But here's where it gets really interesting. When financial psychologists study wealth accumulation, they consistently find that the people who build wealth aren't the ones who stress about $5 coffees. No, no, no. The people who build wealth are the ones who have complete awareness of their $100 decisions. Because look, saving $5 a day on coffee for a year is $1,800. That's great. But if you're unconsciously making an extra $300 purchases per month that you don't even need, that's $3,600 a year. It's double. And this is where most financial advice gets it completely wrong. Everyone wants to tell you to give up your daily latte. But nobody's talking about the fact that you just dropped $150 at Target because you needed things, or that you spent $120 on drinks last weekend, or that you impulse bought a $100 gadget on Amazon that you're going to use twice. The coffee isn't your problem. The $100 blind spot is your problem. Here's what kills me. And this is what most people genuinely don't understand about the $100 rule. It's not just about the money you're spending right now. It's about what that money could become. Let's do some math. And I want you to really pay attention here because this is going to hurt. Let's say you're 25 years old, and let's say you're making 5 unconscious $100 purchases per month. That's $500. Now, instead of spending that $500, what if you invested it? At an average market return of about 10% per year, by the time you're 65, that $500 a month turns into $3.8 million, $3.8 million. But here's where it gets even crazier. Most people don't make $500 decisions. They make $100 decisions that they repeat 5 times. And psychologically, that feels completely different. If I told you right now, hey, give me $500 a month and I'll turn it into $3.8 million, you'd think about it. You'd deliberate. You'd probably say yes. But your brain doesn't process 5 separate $100 purchases as $500. It processes them as 5 individual, not that much decisions. This is why the $100 rule is so dangerous. Because each individual decision feels harmless. But the cumulative effect is absolutely devastating to your long-term wealth. And look, I'm not saying you can't spend money. I'm not saying you need to live like a monk and invest every penny. But what I am saying is that you need to be intentional with your $100 decisions. You need to treat them with the same level of scrutiny that you treat your $1,000 decisions. Because here's the reality. Most people will agonize for weeks about whether to spend an extra $2,000 on a better car. But they won't think twice about spending $200 this weekend on random stuff they don't need. That's 10 weekends. 10! They'll spend the same $2,000 without even realizing it.
So why do we do this? Why is our brain wired to treat $100 decisions like they don't matter? There's this concept in behavioral economics called mental accounting. Basically, we put money into different buckets in our heads. There's serious money, and there's whatever money. And for most people, anything under $100 goes into the whatever money bucket. The problem is that your bank account doesn't have a whatever money bucket. It just has money. And when you spend it, it's gone. Doesn't matter if you mentally categorized it as whatever. There's also something called the pain of paying. Research shows that spending cash causes more psychological pain than swiping a card. And spending small amounts causes way less pain than spending large amounts. So when you break a big purchase into small chunks, or when you just make a lot of small purchases, your brain doesn't register the same level of pain. This is why subscription services are so dangerous. You see only $19.99 a month, and your brain goes, that's nothing. But you know what? $19.99 a month for 5 different subscriptions is $100. And most people have way more than 5 subscriptions. I saw a study from West Monroe Partners that found the average American thinks they have about 5 active subscriptions. The actual number? 11. They're literally forgetting about subscriptions they're paying for. And the average person is spending about $273 per month on subscriptions. That's over $3,000 a year. But because it's not one big purchase, it doesn't register. Your brain treats it like it doesn't count. All right, so how do we fix this? How do we break free from the $100 blind spot? First thing, track your spending for 30 days. And I don't mean just look at your bank statement at the end of the month and go, oh wow. I mean actively track every single purchase you make in real time. When you spend money, write it down. Put it in an app. I don't care how you do it, just track it. You need to see it. Because until you see it, your brain will keep telling you it doesn't exist. Second, implement what I call the $100 pause. Anytime you're about to spend $100 or more on something that's not a pre-planned necessity, you pause for 24 hours. That's it. Just wait a day. You'd be amazed how many purchases you don't make when you just give yourself time to think about it. Because that $100 purchase that felt urgent in the moment usually doesn't feel urgent the next day. Third, set a monthly $100 budget. This is different from your regular budget. This is specifically for discretionary purchases between $50 and $150. Give yourself a number, let's say $500 a month, and when it's gone, it's gone. This forces you to prioritize, because now those $100 decisions aren't invisible anymore. They're competing with each other. Do I want to go out to that nice dinner, or do I want to buy those shoes? You can't do both if you're over budget. Fourth, and this is huge, automate your savings before you see the money. If you're investing $500 a month before it even hits your checking account, guess what? You literally can't make $500 worth of unconscious $100 purchases. The money's not there. Look, here's the thing that nobody wants to hear. The reason most people aren't wealthy isn't because they don't make enough money. It's because they have no idea where their money is going. I see people making 6 figures who are living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because they're making 20 to 30 unconscious $100 decisions every single month. That's $2,000 to $3,000 that just evaporates. They can't tell you where it went. They don't remember spending it, but their bank account sure remembers. Meanwhile, I see people making $40,000 a year who are building real wealth.
Not because they're depriving themselves, but because they're intentional. They know exactly where every $100 is going, and that awareness, that simple act of paying attention, changes everything. The $100 rule isn't about being cheap. It's not about never spending money. It's about understanding that these medium-sized purchases are where your financial future is actually decided. Not the $5 coffee, not the $50,000 car, the $100 decisions. Because when you add them up, when you really truly add them up, that's where all your money is going. So here's what I want you to do. Right now, before you watch another video, I want you to open your bank app or credit card app, and I want you to scroll through the last 30 days. Count how many purchases you made between $50 and $200. Seriously, do it right now. I bet it's more than you think. Way more. And then I want you to ask yourself, was every single one of those purchases worth it? Did every single one of them bring you value? Or were some of them just whatever? Because the moment you start treating $100 decisions like they matter, that's the moment your financial life completely changes. That's the moment you stop wondering why you're not getting ahead. That's the moment you actually start building wealth. The $100 rule is real. Your brain is lying to you about these purchases, and the sooner you recognize that, the sooner you can do something about it. If this video helped you see money differently, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I make videos like this every single week to help you build wealth and stop making the same financial mistakes everyone else is making. I'm Apex. I'll see you in the next one.